Welcome back to another episode of Uploaded and Unfiltered, the podcast in which I, your host Jermaine, interviews another content creator in regards to the journey thus far. Today marks a special episode because this is the first time in 89 episodes that I've had a returning guest to the podcast. It is one of my favorite people in the world, and he was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. I didn't even finish asking him the question. He's like, yeah, I'm there. So without further ado, I'm going to read his bio, which he switched up because that's what he does. And we'll get him on the podcast and we'll start this conversation. Rootin' tootin', hunting horn dootin', great sword slanging, habitual masher, and the one and only mad clown of content, BossuVersus. Here to make you laugh, think critically, and grab your cape all at the same time. Without further ado, let me bring my homie to the podcast. Boss, what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing well, man. Hearing you did 89 episodes, is that what you said?
Yeah.
89 episodes, man. That's consistency and commitment.
Hell yeah, baby.
It's proud. And it's something that you are like, those of you that know Crip, those of you who have been listening, it's something that he preaches all the time. And it's about consistency, doing stuff that you may have been afraid of doing before. Mm-hmm. Just letting that go and just putting it out there. Because once you get it out there, you ain't got to worry about it no more. It's off of you and onto somebody else. It doesn't matter how the world receives it. So, exactly. Man, big ups to my brother Crip.
Yo, I appreciate that, man. And it's wild to think about where we were when we did that first episode, like 8 or some shit, to where you are now, man. I feel like you are finally, from the outside looking in, I'll let you speak on it. From the outside looking in, like you are happier than I've ever seen you when you're making content. Your streams have been on. It don't matter what you're playing. Like the comedy is there, the feels is there, the conversation's there, and not only what you're doing with Monster Hunter, what you're doing with Mouth. Like I feel like you got your hands in a lot of pots right now. So break down 2 things for me. What you're up to right now as far as everything that you're touching, and how's it feeling for you?
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned it just now, like me, Coburg 9, Blue Satire, all them homies. We have been working tediously on Main Academy Wrestling Federation, Mouth. Crypt is a part of that. He has a character in that. He's a part of my faction, the Circus. And I've been basically pretending to be an internet clown wrestler for the past 3 years, and it's been amazing. It's been one of my best creative outlets while it probably doesn't show or like on my socials, like YouTube or anything like that. I'm able to put on and write a story for people to be entertained by. And I think having that as an outlet and a space where people can you can just put your content out and people won't judge you for being you. And I think that's kind of where like the clown persona came from, right? Mm-hmm. It started off as a joke in season 2 of this. And I was like, yo, you know what? I'm going to use this in a therapeutic way. I'm going to use this character, this mad clown Bossu, as a character to express my feelings, express my worries, express my journey of like finding myself again and kind of going through all that stuff. And because it's a clown, you know, I can be whoever I want to be.
Yeah. Sure.
And that's been my motto doing that content, and that is translated or transitioned over to the things that I do here. And I am a lot happier because I am having those places where I can release and feel and be me. And another big thing that I've started doing is I've included my family more. I think the streaming world and my personal life have been separate, and you want to keep it that way for most of the part. But in the house, I kind of felt like I was living 2 separate lives, and my wife would say that, right? I don't even know these people, and she's still kind of, because I try to include her as much as I can, but it's just like, I'm up late, I'm doing whatever, whatever hours of the night, and times when she's on, and when I talk about y'all and how happy I am, to be around y'all, she's like, well, I don't know who they are, but I'm glad you're happy. But bringing my sons on stream and having them be so accepted by all the communities and them playing with like my friends like Blue and Icky and them. That's been a big thing too. So they get excited for that. And so that's put me in the headspace where it's like, yo, I can do anything I want to do. I could be anything I want to be because I have the support of not only my family, but the family that I've made on the internet.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, I am in a much happier space. I'm doing a lot of the things that I want to do. And I think that's what's making me happy too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when you first started this content, like I think for me, like to really jump into it, I did YouTube before I did streaming, but that was just me fucking around. I didn't know what I was doing. When I did Twitch, like when I was on that 2-3 year run, I was like on it every day. I was definitely doing shit I didn't want to do, and
Brother, I remember having this conversation with you. Me, you, and Chris had this conversation where I felt like I was locked in or stuck in the fighting games.
Yes.
And it was at a time where it's so funny because how times have changed. We grow our content. Me, you, and Chris grow our content and start expanding out to different branches. And we are in a golden age of fighting games. Isn't that crazy? People actually want to see fighting game content, but it's because we left. I think we the problem.
Yeah, right? They were like, hey, man, y'all ain't deserve this. So, I mean, I was looking at that today. I was like, damn, we had a whole thing set up. But honestly, and I was telling my wife about this, I don't think any of us were in a space to do what we needed to do as a group, because like we are so multifaceted. Like, you like wrestling, you like Pokemon, you like Monster Hunter, there's a bunch of shit that you got under your belt. And same with me and same with Chris. Like, I think trying to lock ourselves into Jets fighting games, for me, I was like,
and I really like wrestling was a thing that I've always loved, but I just never talked about. And you know the horror story I always tell about Mark Henry and Mae Young with the human hand.
Yes,
that's what killed wrestling for me. And it took Kohlberg to bring me back. And
that's true.
I'm so glad that I'm back because my sons love it, and it's something that we can bond over. Not only like video games, but wrestling. It's something that I bonded with my father over, and like everything is just coming full circle. And I'm like you said, I'm in a very happy part of my life. Whereas you know me. A couple years ago, I was like everything was depressed mode. But I was listening to just last year. I was we may not know.
Oh my goodness! I was like concerned. I was like, because I was doing the same, which was crazy. Like daily rotation of Kendrick, and I'm like, hold on, man, where's Boss Mindset at all this?
Bro, you look at that little sidebar Discord. It's count me out playing 20 times in a row.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no! Somebody send somebody over there. But no, it worked itself out.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fucking crazy. So do you have a goal of like how many pieces of content you want to put up a week, or what's that looking like for you right now?
I definitely have a guideline. I do not follow it.
Yeah.
So my rule in my head is for every stream, I should be able to make at least one video and 3 shorts.
Hell yeah.
And
okay.
I should put those out a week. Have I been doing that? No. I'll do the shorts because it's easy and quick, but the day to day is so, you got kids,
Exactly.
I don't have time to be like sitting down and editing stuff unless I got like free time doing the work day or like before stream. Like even last night before stream, I recorded a Monster Hunter video because a comment was made about like Monster Hunter etiquette. And I was like, yeah, I can do that real quick. But like, to sit down and just like edit a video, and even for you, like I know editing this podcast, it's a time sink. Editing is a time sink, and sometimes we don't have that kind of bandwidth because our family needs us as fathers and husbands. So I've been doing the best that I can, and I'm just lucky that my shorts be carrying.
Hell yeah. I also know that we didn't talk about it, but you've been pushing hard on YouTube. Every time you stream Monster Hunter, are you up on YouTube?
Yeah, I am up on YouTube every stream. Every time I stream Monster Hunter. I'm not ready for the boys to go up on YouTube yet because it's YouTube comments are such a hellscape, but Monster Hunter goes up. It's big on YouTube and on Twitch right now, so I might as well take advantage of that. And it's been showing on the back end for analytics wise. And I've been trying to grow this Monster Hunter channel even before Wilds was even announced. So it's like this is a perfect time to kind of give that thing a little stimulus package.
Yes,
viewers, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Speaking of YouTube, growing your YouTube, I've also not every stream like Boss. I need to get on that, but the times that I did stream to YouTube, you definitely see a tick up in numbers, even if like I'm bad about promoting my shit. I need to get better about that. But the randoms that come through, like they'll thing out in Hill, they might not talk, but you see those numbers grow. So that on top of shorts it's feeling like, oh, I'm about to make this thing partner like in a few months, because like you keep putting that content up, that shit just grows like organically.
And I figure, even though I'm not putting out that 20-minute video, like I said, if I'm streaming, there's something going up.
Exactly.
Right? And if somebody watches that for 2 minutes, if somebody watches for 3, if somebody starts laughing and watches it for 10 minutes, of a 4-hour stream,
right,
dog, that's watch hours. I don't care. Something is up for them to consume, whether it be the stream or shorts. And then I'll do these little small digestible bites. So that's been helping for the Monster Hunter channel. And it's kind of crazy. Like you said, like you start off a YouTube stream and let's keep it funky. Like, I know a lot of people say, well, I stream, I don't look at my numbers. We looking at them.
Yeah.
I'm not one to leave it up to fate. You know, like
it's like this ain't working. Click.
I need to know if I'm like because I think we're tinkerers, right? So we kind of we like to see what works and what's not working, and we're not unwilling to not like if something's not working, we'll get rid of it. Like,
exactly.
We'll change it up, and we're not too like committed to that type of thing as far as content space because we know at our age we ain't got a lot of time left in. So,
nah, we're like I'm not waiting 6 months to see if this works,
bro. I'm not troubleshooting this, bro. If it don't work, it don't work.
Get that out of here, yeah.
But it's so funny, like on YouTube, stream on YouTube, you'll be streaming to like one viewer and it'll be you.
Yeah, right?
You be streaming to one viewer for like the first hour and then like an hour and the 15-minute mark, 15 motherfuckers are sitting there and they just be there the whole stream. I'm like, cool. Because those watch hours get multiplied. I don't care if you don't say a damn thing.
Yes. You don't even have to engage with me. Just watch.
Right.
That is funny. I was about to say, you mentioned it. I never put two and two together, but yes, we are tinkerers. Like, I think the problem with people looking at their numbers is they get too emotional about that shit. Like they see it.
They get caught up in and feel like it's a representation of them themselves, the content creators, and that's not it. Yeah. It's just that maybe it's a game they don't want to see, or maybe it's the maybe they don't want to be spoiled on the game, or maybe maybe they don't like it. I don't know.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Maybe that game's trash,
and that's a whole different story, like a whole different conversation. But I think anytime I see a dip in numbers, I kind of know in my head, like, hey, this is a for me game. Yeah, I know I'm doing this for me, and I understand the drop off, but I'm hoping that I'm entertaining enough to keep them, in here. And a lot of the times that is the case.
You don't have to answer. Nah, you're gonna answer it because we ain't scared to answer shit. I just had a thought. So when you play a game that is more popular, your numbers are usually up there. But when you play a game that's just for you, I personally, that crowd that's there for that just me game, I feel like they're a closer net group. Like I rock with them a little heavier because they know they're just here for me, and I can tell because they're here with this game. How do you feel the same way?
I feel the same way, and I talk about Icky a lot because Icky came in off Monster Hunter content, and she stayed around for anything that I do now. Yeah. She's even played games with the boys already. Like, yeah, her whole mantra, or her whole motivation before when she met me was she was going to be a Monster Hunter assistant. So she'll come in and she'll help people through their SOSs or through their hard fights, and then she'll just dip. She's like a random stranger.
I love that.
But she came to a stream and she never left. And she said, you sabotaged me. But I know that I can count on Icky to at least come in and say hi, you know, and just chill and leave me up. Same thing with DDL Cam. A lot of the mouth people community. And I think being a part of that community has helped a lot. And shout out to Kohlberg 9, who's cultivated such an amazing community where people who just support each other and hold each other up. That's it. I think when it's all said and done, that's going to be like his crown jewel of that community. So
yeah, I don't think people realize how hard it is to build a positive minded community, like one that actually rocks with each other. Like seeing how Mouth moves and like the different entities that popped up and just how invested people are with their characters still blows my mind. Like this is some shit that we made up on the internet that is not real, but it is real because there's storylines, there's different characters, there's plot twists and like character arcs. Like it's a goddamn TV show. I can't.
It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite creative outlet. And, I don't know if you know this, but our house, we recently went through a house fire in Mouth.
What?
Our faction. No. Yeah. And you got beat down by wrestling pastor.
Who?
Ballistic. The Holy Ghost.
Okay, I missed that.
The Holy Ghost grappler.
Wow, I got beat up by God, basically. Okay. I gotta go look that up.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
You know, he beat you down with that chair.
Oh, damn. All right, well, we'll have to go do some reruns. But anyways, my next question, because I'm nosy as shit, where are you going next? What's the plan for future content?
So my future content, I am going to incorporate fighting games back a little bit more. I am, you know this, but I think majority of people don't know this, that I was in a car accident back in August. Lost functionality in my wrist for a while. Back on rehab, only got like 3 sessions left of rehab, and then they're gonna turn me loose.
Good.
But I'm 100% clear to do whatever I want to do. Just if there's pain, whatever. Fighting content is coming back, especially with Tekken booming. Street Fighter's getting a new character. We got City of Wolves coming. So my plan for that is to really start doing this hitbox series.
Yeah.
Chris sent me a hitbox, and it's only I cannot do king stuff on the hitbox. So
shit, really?
I cannot. I can do combos. I can't do grabs.
That sucks.
Well, not from the second player side anyway.
Yeah.
But I got that coming. Obviously, more Monster Hunter content. That stuff is going to keep booming as long as it's popular. And even if it wasn't, I would play it. I love that. That's one of my favorite series.
Right.
And then just doing more stuff with my boys. I think eventually we will have our own little channel where I could put it up because he want to show off to his little friends.
Right.
Bossy boys.
Exactly.
So I'll probably make a separate channel for that. But just a lot of that going on. I know we talked about the idea of doing TwitchCon. So I may be out there. I don't know yet because we got to get this money right. But
right. Same.
TwitchCon is expensive, man.
It is. Is this in Cali again this year?
Yeah, it's in San Diego again. So it's expensive. And I heard the food sucks.
It does suck. Yeah. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. If you tell me you're not going, I'm not going to TwitchCon. So I already told my wife, I was like, I'm playing it by ear. If Boss tells me in enough time that he's going, then I'm going to make my ass out there. But other than that, bro.
It's still on the menu. On the menu. And I'm trying to freak it somehow. My mother-in-law's talking about doing a family trip. And I was like, well, we're going to say,
you know what I'm saying? I'll be back in a couple hours.
October, you know what I'm saying? Hey, but they know I'm up to something. But Whitney's like, he trying to go to this damn convention. I'm like, all right, yeah. Listen.
But my goal, even if I don't see you at TwitchCon, I want to. I'm not gonna say I want to see you. Period. But I'm trying to see my homies this year in any place that I can. I think a lot of people are going to DreamCon in Atlanta. I think I don't remember the name of them shits. But I'm gonna try to hit that up. I'm just gonna try to do one this year. But I told my wife, I was like, if Boss goes to fucking TwitchCon, I'm going to TwitchCon, even if it's for a day or two.
Yeah, I think a lot of people go to a lot of black people go to DreamCon.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of us go to the DreamHack too.
Yeah, is that the
No, DreamCon is an RDC one. The other one is
DreamHack. That's the one.
DreamHack is something else.
That's the one I'm talking about. Then DreamHack.
Yeah, so there's DreamHack Atlanta, and then I think there's one in Dallas too.
Gotcha. Okay.
I know the one in Atlanta, Cole will be going to. So
right.
I'm trying to see where that big
motherfucker
going.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to see where they be going. That's where a lot of the mouth folk, they down south.
Exactly.
That's what if I were to go to one in any other convention other than TwitchCon, it'd probably be DreamHack Atlanta.
Gotcha.
Dallas.
All right. Usually we do a lessons learned here. I have a different question for you though. Has there been anything that you worked on in the last 6 months that you were hesitant to and you put it out anyways? Or you didn't put it out? Anything that caused any hesitation when you were like, I'm working on this, I see the vision, and something stopped you from putting it up, or you had a little friction before you did?
I think I take a lot of risks with this mouth stuff. And so a lot of the times when I'm, putting stuff up, I've been touching those emotional heartstrings. And a lot of people maybe not know or maybe they do. These are what I'm displaying are things like growing pains or growing points that I've had in my life as far as mental health is concerned. I think I've told you this before. I think I said in the last, I didn't even know anything about mental health, anxiety, depression until 2020.
Right.
When we were locked in the house and we were forced to sit in here and look at these four walls and we didn't have anything to distract us,
Exactly.
And so it's been 4 to 5 years of me just relearning myself and understanding how I tick and move without the distractions of a podcast. No offense. Or music and stuff, or the traffic, cussing people out on the drive home. It wasn't anything like that to distract me. I just had to sit here and learn me for 4 or 5 years. And most recently, I put out a promo. That's what we call them in mouth, where my character was in my subconscious as my clown character, and in my subconscious I saw myself.
Yeah,
and it was the version that I saw was season 1 Boss, the one with the booty shorts on.
Yes,
but it was indicative of when I very first started streaming, and I had the Galaxy headband on, I had the hair, all that, the glasses, and it was a conversation that I've had with myself a lot, and it's like learning yourself, learning to love yourself. When somebody asks what do you love most about this world, why are you not putting yourself on that list?
Exactly.
Like that type of thing. And it was that kind of conversation. And even recording it, I was like choked up. I was crying. And I put it out.
Hell yeah.
I put it out. And man, when I tell you the reception was, it's what I needed it to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's what I needed it to be. Because that was like, I know you big on mental health, and me, you know, I'm still hard-headed. I ain't gonna lie, I'm so hard-headed. I'm like, I'll put some dirt on it.
Right.
Like, that's my attitude towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was big for me because it was finally like me recognizing like, hey, it's okay to not be okay. Even though you say that, you have to still love yourself. You have to still put yourself first in a lot of situations, because if you don't love yourself, nobody will. Exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the biggest thing for me. And the biggest, like, I was like really hesitant on putting it out, but I just did it. Because again, cultivated this environment where you feel motivated to do something like that. You know, you won't be judged too critically, even if you're apprehensive.
Yeah. I remember that. And I remember you talking about it and just hearing like you inside your subconscious talking to yourself. That's just some next level movie type shit. But that is something nobody, like, I say 10 years ago, I don't think that's in our brain to do. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not thinking that hard.
Not at all. I'm not looking that deep within, because I'm too worried about, you know, my next move. Like, what I got to do, like surviving the next day, like that type of thing. And even though like I've been years removed away from the hood, you never lose that sixth sense. You never stop looking over your shoulder. You never stop worrying about if somebody's out to get you, something like that. It never goes away. And so when you're in the suburbs with 2 kids and a wife who doesn't know anything about that, you look like a crazy person.
Yes, you do. Agreed. Yeah, I think that was probably one of the hardest things, being in a relationship with my wife, being in a multiracial relationship, is there's things that we see as Black men that if we say it out loud, it sounds crazy as fuck. But over the years, like, I think my wife has seen, I'm like, you see this interaction right here? This is how this is making me feel. And she's starting to understand more. And that's because I looked in, like, again, I wasn't always a mental health dude. I was like, I don't give a fuck about shit. Like, I didn't care, like, I didn't care, like, was affecting life. So once I started looking inside and, like, trying to figure out who I was and how I wanted to show up in this world, then I was able to figure out some things that, like, racially motivated. I was like, oh, this is why I'm pissed off all the time here, and share that with my wife. So, like, I am grateful that I'm with somebody who's actually willing to listen and not just go straight to no, you're a crazy person. Like, what are you talking about?
And I think that's the biggest thing for me as well. My wife is very understanding of that, and she knows how I grew up, and she knows where I grew up. I remember I took her to a block party on the old block that I grew up, and the first thing they said, I ain't gonna say my real name, but they said my nickname. Hey, you brought a snow bunny down here? I'm like, wow, you walking around with them pink toes? I said, I gotta get up out of here.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
Because at first they was trying to holler at my wife, and this was before we were married, and they was like, oh, that's Petey's son. I was like, yeah. And they was like, oh, okay. But dog, I'll never forget doing it. I was like, I never took her back down there.
Yeah, I bet, right?
We never went back to the hood. That's why I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. But
that's funny.
But yeah, it's like things that we, like you said, we notice on our day to day, like this interaction, or like everywhere we go, be a spectacle. Like I have to constantly tell Wendy, my wife, like, hey, because we are married, you are now part of that spectacle now. So when they see us together laughing, kikiing, holding hands, they're like, hey, I wonder how that happened. Or, hey, I wonder what he did to get her, or how this whole thing happened. And you're gonna see people's minds start doing like the math when they see you with your kids. Right. And like, as you know, us, we train to have our head on the swivel at all times. And this is the way we grew up, because we know, like, the way we grew up, and I won't speak for you, but I speak the way I grew up. Like, we know the world is out to get us, right?
That's how,
and that's how we raised. Like, the world is out to get us. Even if people have the best intentions, like, we are trained to, we were raised to, like, hey, don't let somebody get the best of you, right? And you have to be able to weather the storm, that type of issue. So that never really goes away, and that's so hardwired to our DNA,
right?
Just based off like how our ancestors and stuff like that were treated, and it's like, it's hard to shake that. So when you hard coded look like that, and then you like something as simple as like crossing the street.
Yeah.
Like I know if my wife crossed the street right now, she'll have to look both ways. That car gonna stop.
Exactly.
If I step, they go,
hey.
They might not even look up before they know, before I'm on the hood.
I just had that thought. Did that really happen? That must have happened because like I have that just thought like, yo, look both ways. Because what if this is the dude that don't give a fuck and just like guns it? That had to happen.
I don't know if it's happened before, but I've had experience where they do not look up for you. Like they are just going because, you know, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Like, oh, I didn't see you there. Yeah, I know. Me too. Yeah. Hey, check out Monster Hunter Monday, Wednesday, Fridays on BossuVersus. It gets wild.
Chill. My freeze almost came out.
Shit. No, I'm glad to see where you are in the space that you are. Even though I know you keep saying like you are hard headed, you made a lot of strides to where you are now. And that video alone, that promo that you did alone, like that takes a lot of growth to put yourself into something like that, have that conversation, and then say, I'm gonna share this with my peoples. That's what I want to do with this shit that we're telling ourselves. And once you jump over that, then you get to go to the happy spot where you're making content just because it's fun to do.
I think at this point I think we're in different spaces. Like as far as like content creators that are coming out now or newer, maybe even younger content creators and we both went through this phase, you know, early on where we were looking to like network and grow. And I think now me and you are doing less of that and looking for genuine connections.
Yes.
And I think that has helped a lot because when you make those genuine connections, you know, you can guarantee those people are going to show up. And as long as they show up, that number that we talk about that people are scared to look at, it like, let's keep it funky. Like if you have one person in your stream or 3 people in your stream versus 50 of people that you actually mess with, the hierarchy on that list because people is already high low.
Yes.
They're going to see you maybe 1 or 2 scrolls before that person that has 3.
Exactly.
So just make sure you're making those genuine connections because that's what matters more than running your numbers up. Like that's why like when people talk about doing like partner pushes, like I'm like, man, that's a hollow push. That's a hollow push. And like there's very few instances where I'm like, yeah, he could do it, and I think he'll retain this actor. Like Felix Will was one of those where I felt like he did that partner push, and I know those people are going to stay. Go Teasy is another one where I think they're going to stay. Your boy Alakazam King got he can
right there.
And listen, he's
better.
Sitting on. Well, I want to do all these things before I shut up.
Were you in his stream yesterday?
Yes, and I was telling him because he's like, man, well, if it go away, it go away. No, why would you? Dog, you got the golden ticket to Willy Wonka in this, and you just gonna be like, man, I'm gonna wait till the expiration date,
right,
and then go the next day. Exactly. No, it only tracks the past 30 days. So the longer you wait, and not to mention, there's a processing period. There is a letter that you have to write to say why you want to be part. Yeah, there's a letter that you have to write as to why you want to be partner.
Yeah.
And all of that is going to take place while that thing is still in effect. So apply now while you have listen.
I'm gonna hit him up today. I'm like, you do it yet? Like, what's going on, man? Stop playing.
These young motherfuckers don't
know that. Just playing, man. Time.
Play with their food.
They don't understand how time works. Goddamn.
Shout out to that light skin.
Yeah, for real. One thing I do want to talk about, and I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but we'll try to make it sense. The time from where this was, let's say August of last year, I was in Florida. Like, and that's when we decided, you know what, we're fucking moving. The time from that to where I'm at now, it doesn't seem like it exists. Like, it seemed like it was yesterday, bro.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, I be pocket watching sometimes. I be like, yo, why is Crip House so big?
bro.
Like, because I'm looking at the housing market, because like, I don't want to say too much, but the reason why the Twitch con is up in the air is because we're gonna take a look at Seattle for a little bit and see, check the vibe. It's a vibe check. It's a temperature check first. Yeah. And if we like it, then we start talking about that. But gotta get out this red state.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I'm looking at you and I'm like, man, he outside in this yard. I said, this house big as hell. Then you look at the kitchen, got the island. I said, damn, man, this shit. What's going on, man? Because the housing market is insane right now.
We got lucky. Like, we hit maybe a month before it got nutty, because we looked to see how much we would buy this house now, and we wouldn't have.
It's insane. Like, you want K for a 2-bedroom,
Right?
1.5 bath?
Hell nah.
Dog, no, absolutely not. I said, hey, how you feel about mobile homes?
My goodness.
How you feel about
Double wide, yeah.
Dog, hey, but they nice. They nice as hell now.
I mean, they are. I put one in the backyard, shit.
Shit, we could drive away in that RV. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
we can live wherever we want to live.
Exactly. You know what? That was on the table for a bit, but I hate driving. I'm not driving around no goddamn RV all around. Nah.
Yeah.
I'll
be taking, and my shit should be too big. I can't shit in the back of my RV. Not gonna lie to you.
We gotta pull over for 1 to 2 hours. Sorry,
family.
family.
I'm at the 7-Eleven real quick. Blow that shit up.
Oh my God. All right, boss. Let's do this. Let's give the people one piece of advice. If you had to tell them one thing that's been on your heart and you're like, here, go and run with this, floor is yours. What would you tell them?
One thing I would tell y'all is, hey man, if you are scared to put something out, if you're making a piece of content and you're worried about it, the best thing to do is just put it out. Because a lot of the times the thing, and I think I've heard, I may be rewording something Crypto already said. The best thing you can do for yourself and for your mental is just to get it off your chest. That works with content. That works with communication with your partner or with your friends. That works in all spectrums in all sectors of your life. Now, one thing that I will tell you about, I've learned about my content, right, is that something that I probably didn't even mess with. It was like a afterthought. I just put it out because I said something funny and fully equipped. Those are things that be taken off the most. Mm-hmm. So if you unsure about something, you're gonna always be your worst critic. Don't let yourself be the judge of that. Put it out and let the world be. And if you get zero, you get zero. But at least you put it out there for the world to consume. So that's all I got.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's crazy how much shit that pops that I'm like, that's the one that hit. Like, I didn't like that at all.
I hated that. Oh well.
Fuck it. Give it that down.
Right. Like those respect videos, I did not think that was going to take off.
Really?
I did not think it was going to and they got to the point where I hated doing them. I was like, man, because you know me, I like to switch it up. I switch it up.
Hell yeah.
And it wasn't like people were getting better at the game. They weren't taking it. It was like, this is boring.
That's funny. I like it though. Again, to echo what Boss said, just put the content out. And good point, getting it off your mental. There's things like around the house that'll be happening. I'm like, let me just go tell my wife this real quick so I don't have to think about it anymore. And that should help. So I love that advice. Well, boss, we have made it to the end of this section or this show. I could do this all night, all day. Thank you for showing up and doing this with me. I highly appreciate it. And I tell my wife all the time, I'm lucky to know some of the motherfuckers in my life, and that's you included. So I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, fam. Thank you for having me on. You know, I was chomping at the bit to get on here. You set that thing out. Let me go there. Let me get this back on there.
Do you have anything coming up late? I think your episode's going to go up next week. So do you have anything that's coming out that you want to shout out, or just the channels in general? Let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm on Twitch Monday, Wednesday. Actually, I got to change that up. I'm so hardwired to say Monday Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
But I'm also streaming on Sundays now. So I'm Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm streaming at 10 p.m. Central Time. I'm playing a lot of Monster Hunter, but that may change up because I do have some incentives to make up for. But on Sundays, as a little palate cleanser, around 10 a.m. on Central Time, I do streams with my sons. We call the Bossu Boys. So Bossu Boys play, and we are hard locked on Fortnite right now. They some Fortnite sweats. If you missed last Sunday, my 3-year-old sniped a moving target from across the lake, and we got the dub. He's been talking about it for the past 3 days.
Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah. But that's what I'm doing with my stream stuff. As far as content is concerned, I'm really pushing the Bossu Bonks channels. YouTube.com/BossuBonks, doing a lot of Monster Hunter content there. And of course, TikTok. I'm scared to be promoting my TikTok just because I don't know where it's going to be. They done shut up about this 30-day thing and they ain't really talking about it. So, but I'm on TikTok as well as BossuVersus and BossuBonks for Monster Hunter content, but that's where you can find me.
And you will find all his content in the description of this podcast. And as always, if you haven't already, either share this podcast with your friends or subscribe to the podcast, Uploaded and Unfiltered. We're here every week. I don't see any signs of stopping, and we'll have more guests. And I plan on bringing panels to the show eventually. I already told, so my goal was to get Blue on for a single. He's going to be on in a couple weeks. Then I want Blue, Cold, and Bossu. And if they decide if anybody else needs to come through on that, I need to have a mouth conversation because I have so many questions.
That's going to be insane.
Yeah. I know.
That mouth panel.
I'm not editing shit. We're just going to shoot it and put it up.
Those two are so funny together, dog.
Yeah.
And we get us all three together. Oh my God.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I've been wanting to do this for like 6 months, but full disclosure, I didn't know how to get in contact with Blue outside of streaming. And then I finally got his
Blue's
Discord.
famous now.
Is that why I couldn't get him?
Yeah, Blue high profile now. He doing official Twitch streams now.
That makes sense.
And you know what? Shout out to Blue.
Hell
Because
yeah.
anytime Blue gets put in a position like that where he's in front of a lot of people, he's always reaching back down in the community and reaching back down. he's always showcasing his homies.
Yes.
Like it's never just about him. So when he was on that Twitch official stream with Ash, he showcased me and Cole. He didn't have to do that. He didn't do that. And like just based off of that, like anytime I get in a position where I'm in front of a large group of people, I'm always gonna show off my homies. I'm always gonna showcase them. And that's why like when I'm doing this My Son content, people like the Royal Josh, Icky, Sammy, Alakazam, I'm always making sure that I'm like, hey, check out this person because they're funny. They're not just funny here, they're funny in general. Like that type of thing.
Yeah. No, that's what it's about. And I love that he has that persona about him, and like that's who I want to be when I get into those bigger spots, bigger rooms. Like, hey, these are my homies, all of them are hardworking. What can we do to get them some work? So
Blue really needs to be studied. He really needs to be studied because he's moving and getting opportunities as a partner, as an affiliate. And and it's just because the type of person he is, and people just like Blue. And Blue is not a bad, like he's a good dude. And when you that type of person, of course things are gonna come your way. Exactly. And I think his come up needs to actually be studied.
Yeah.
And I want the first edition of that book.
Yeah. Well, we will be analyzing that on the show when I get him on here because again, I thought I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was partnered on Twitch from the moves that he's making. And then I'm like, oh, you just work hard. All right, got it. Cool.
Plus an ass, dog.
I was like, I thought he was full time. He had a whole ass job and shit. I was like, oh, we need to talk because I was misinformed.
I'm missing some lore.
Yeah, right. But that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you again, boss, for doing this. This episode will be up nicely and edited. I'm not editing shit. It's 40 minutes. We're just throwing this hoe up. Put some music on both ends. Call it a day.
Ain't no downtime, boy. See,
exactly.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
One take.
Oh, it brings me back. Anyways, you know what? One day we're going to have there's one conversation I want to have, and I think you know what it is. So, and Chris has to be here for that, and Tech has to be here for that.
That combo.
Yeah. Even Mooney might have to be here for that one.
Dog, I'm ready.
Yeah, I know.
Because we can talk about it, and we can go crazy. Hey, you can listen. Hey, it ain't nothing to me, dog.
I know. I know.
Hey, matter of fact, we can have King on too. Matter of fact.
Oh, all right. Well, all right. So that's a little teaser for y'all in the future. Maybe it'll be like episode 150 or some shit. But there's so many amazing things that happen in the content creation on the back end that you don't see that just changes your perspective for the better. But yeah.
For sure. And not to talk too much on it, but I think that was the trigger point for me. That's like, yo, I just got to ride for homies that are like have a genuine connection.
Exactly.
Like, I cannot be. I can't be out here trying to chase this type of stuff.
Yes, yeah. I am grateful for that experience too, because it did lock me into, okay, I'm only rocking with the people that I can see have a work ethic and want to do something, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, with that, appreciate y'all for listening.
Dog, that's about to be a whole nother 45 minutes.
Yeah, hell yeah. I was about to, let's shut this down.
Yeah.
As always, protect your mental, keep creating content, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Peace.